iOS 13 is currently the latest iOS, and currently the oldest iPhone currently supported on iOS 13 is the iPhone 6s. The iPhone 6s was released in 2015. It's 2020 right now, and that makes this phone over 5 years old, and it's currently still up to date with the latest iOS. Although reports have been found on the internet saying iOS 14 will support all the iPhones that currently run iOS 13, we are currently still on iOS 13. So right now, this is the oldest phone currently still supported by Apple. And the model I'll be reviewing is the iPhone 6s Plus in mid-2020. The first category I will be reviewing the iPhone 6s Plus will be performance. The iPhone 6s Plus has Apple's A9 chip in it, which is still pretty fast here in 2020, although there is a bit more lag than you'd see on the new models with the A13 Bionic. It is still pretty snappy for web browsing and other simple searches such as email, watching TV, and other kind of stuff like that. Overall, this chip is still really good for 2020, and it exceeds some mid-range smartphones, although it is getting a bit more choppy and it is showing its age a bit more. The second category for this review is camera performance. This is a big one because people are taking more and more photos on their phone nowadays. The iPhone 6s Plus has a 12 megapixel camera with an aperture of 2.2 and a 5-element lens. The newly launched iPhone SE 2 has a nearly identical camera at 12 megapixels, and it has an aperture of 1.8, and it has a 6-element lens instead of 5, as well as the processing power of the A13 Bionic chip. The only really big difference between these two cameras is the fact that the iPhone SE has better machine learning and processing with these cameras, and the ability for portrait mode. Even though the iPhone 6s Plus doesn't have a built-in portrait mode, I was able to get a good natural bokeh effect, which turned out really good in these photos above. The third category the iPhone 6s Plus will be reviewed on is its display. This is a really big one because it's what you're looking at all the time. The iPhone 6s Plus has a 5.5-inch display with 1920 by 1080 pixels with 401 pixels per inch, and it's a Retina HD display. The iPhone 6s Plus and 6s also have support for Apple's 3D Touch, which registers when you press a bit harder on an icon in the UI to give you a pop-up menu that you can click on. Now to the verdict. How much longer will this phone last you? There have been multiple reports saying that iOS 14 will run on all the devices that currently support iOS 13, so that's pretty good news if you have this phone. But we're currently still on iOS 13, so we don't know anything for sure, as Apple could change anything anytime. And once again, this phone is over 5 years old, and it's still getting updates. This is one of the best things with Apple because they keep supporting their phones. Most Android phones only receive updates for 1 to 3 years, and that the best you can get is with Google's Pixel line, which guarantees updates for 3 years at a minimum. Even though this phone might still get updates for next year, it is nearing its end of the life, and we can't deny that. It's getting slower, and it doesn't look like it's going to be supported for too much longer. We'll know more about iOS 14 at the Worldwide Developers Conference for 2020, which will be hosted all online on June 22nd. Be sure to watch it to learn more about it, and thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.